Hello. I thought about doing a small video for you so you would be able to take a look at one of the departments that compose a dental laboratory. And here we begin seeing the number one department, the first department that accepts the work as soon as it comes in. And this is where actually all impressions come in to be poured, to be trimmed, to be articulated once they are models. And also in this department, which is the plaster room, is where we do all investments. Or investments is before doing your castings. But we will go through this slowly. But let's see first what's necessary for a plaster room. It's not necessary to be very big, you know. We were able to do thousands of units just with this one man's bench right here. But what's important to have is a good sink. And here you see in the sink there's already a bucket that starts collecting excess of plaster and investment when it gets cleaned. And that's not enough. So if you're going to be putting up here a sink like you see, you're going to need a plumber anyway. And to keep your pipes clean, besides collecting your gypsum and your investment in that bucket, you know, that's the first stage, you need also under your sink another filter. We call it depurator, which refines and catches up with all micro pieces of plaster which are left in the water, so your pipes don't clog up. And plus, this is a must because it's a requirement to have by law, at least in this country in Italy, so there's no pollution or whatsoever. Anywhere once you have got your impression, here it is. It comes on a vibrator. No, well, before that, you use these cups right here. And you need absolutely this. This is a whip mix. And actually it's a vacuum. It pulls all the air out of gypsum and investments. It's a very important piece to have in the lab. It's a must. You can't do without it. This is something you can't do without. Number two, you're going to need air. So this means you're going to need a compressor. Here's an air gun. You want to wipe off excessive humidity from your impressions. And once you have mixed your plaster, you use a vibrator to flow it inside your impression here. So this is another piece of equipment. So far we have seen two pieces of equipment. One, two. Well, if we want to call this a piece of equipment, it's three. And four with a compressor, which we will see later on, that brings your air. Then once you have developed your impression, here we have a 6-unit bridge, front bridge that was going to be done. I don't know if you can see it. You're going to need a lathe. This lathe doesn't come without this chuck. I mean, it comes without a chuck. You have to buy a chuck once you have a lathe. And you're going to need also something to protect, like this. It's a small case, so everything doesn't fly all over. You're going to need a vacuum. Here it is. This is where it collects it. And here it pulls, behind here, maybe we can see it. Here's your dust collector right here. And besides that, you're going to need also, I don't know how you call this, but this is a grinder, maybe this is how you call it. And this also has another vacuum, which is under this piece of furniture. It's under here. It's pretty quiet. These are all quiet pieces. Of course, besides all this, we're going to need a steamer. Here you have a good piece of steamer. And when you're producing steam, you have to get water from your Edident system. And if water's too hard, like in our case, to give long life to your piece of equipment, you're going to need also something else like this. This actually makes your water softer, so your equipment can last longer. And also, what else do we have here? We have also an ultrasonic. I mean, this maybe you can do without, or maybe you can buy a small one. This is big. It's a 2 beaker. You can see it has 2 beakers on it. Another thing maybe you can do without, but I do have in my lab, is a Pindex machine. Here you have it. And of course, what's very important is a precision scale. When you want to weight your gypsum, you want to weight your investment, everything has to be on the money. So this is another must. And with all this also, I need a glue gun. So I'm going to be very short. Here you have also a professional lab sink, a bench for pouring, where you can actually, after the excess, you can throw it in the garbage, which is this. And you see under here also you have where you collect your garbage. And once you're going to break out all the plaster, you're going to get back with your articulators. You're going to also need this. So you don't use a hammer, which will break your fingers and you can get hurt. You use this piece of equipment. It's very nice. And if you have excess, like investments that need to be collected in special areas, this is an area where I collect my investments. You see, because this kind of trash you cannot throw inside the garbage, regular garbage, right here. I would go back just a minute to show you, the pieces of equipment that is needed. So, one, a vacuum. 2, your vibrator. 3, your grinder. 4, your lathe. 5, a chuck. 6, I don't know how you call this. 7, your dust collector. 8, another dust collector, which is under here. 9, your water depurator. 10, to make your water softer. 11, a steamer. 12, you're going to need, how do you call this? An ultrasonic. Oh, I was forgetting. You're going to need a refrigerator, a small refrigerator, because you have to keep your liquids under 6 centigrades. Okay? Otherwise, your investments will have problems in setting up. I think I have arrived to 12. Then, this is a must. 13. You're going to need something for your weights. Pindex you can do maybe without. And 14, you're going to need a gun to glue. Now, we're talking just equipment here, and that means we're not talking about materials. We're not talking about spatulas. We're not talking about articulators. You see, here's just a few. The other ones are all in the lab. And we're not talking about all the rest of the equipment which is necessary to run your lab. Here I also have on the top, set up here, I have some shelves, you see, cabinets I mean. These are all cabinets up here, which I use, to put all sort of supplies and all the rest. So, Craig, this is my prep room. This is the room, the lung of the lab. It's like a body that starts breathing. This is what you need. It's not very big. We're talking 2 meters per 2.5. But it has all sort of equipment. We saw at least 15 pieces. And this is just one department, which is cured in a certain way and handled in a certain way, and already has a certain cost. But we will talk about this, further down the road. Now, this short video is over. I hope you enjoyed it, and hang on, and we will go with the rest of the lab soon.